at some local in, like, I don't know, Alabama or something.
Shades of Sean, actually.
Yeah, actually. They were on tour around the same time. That was always fun to see.
All right,
going into a matchup that not a lot of people are very familiar with, but I'm very excited to see at the top level.
I am very excited to see what this hero is going to do. Like, just in general, against any other character, it doesn't matter. If a hero's on the screen, I am watching with bated breath.
Yeah, hero, very, very interesting. You know, it's just wild. Like, the interesting things happen when he's on the screen.
I mean, in addition to just having a ton of crazy tools in that that library of reads right there with menu, you're also going to see, like, the way that this player approaches neutral. Oh, but was that a stitch?
Face, yeah.
Okay, you got
zoom
the
with the bailout, yeah. Such a great tool to have in your back pocket. And will the edge guard happen? Excellent timing on the turnip down throw, and just going to sit there and nair. But the tech from Vivi going to keep him in this.
These float cancels immediately into the grab. That is the most diabolical thing that Peach mains can do. And tried to get the zoom. The menu was there, the option was there, but so was the turnip.
Just the awareness out of Ling is incredible to see. Knowing exactly where hero is going to be in the course of his recovery. That is matchup mastery.
Have we played neutral yet? It just feels as though Ling basically started and immediately an advantage. Vivi, they have not had the opportunity to get more than 1 or 2 blows going.
Excellent grab there, but going to drop the ledge trap, and that's going to cost you because Ling is going to be getting a ton off of sending you off stage. However, that neutral B going to connect and bail Vivi out.
And bounce is on deck, so we no longer need to worry about the turnips and the edge guards, but now it is gone, and now you're in a spot where you have 1 buff, and look at the patience here from Ling. Ling backed off immediately, not trying to give Vivi any opportunities right here. If you want to get the kill, you have to make something happen yourself.
Yeah, the buffs are really what it's all about for Hero. Not really the best character without them, but
Agreed.
Once they're in your corner, Hero just becomes so scary. And that sort of passive pressure forces your opponent to approach you to stop you from getting them. But Ling has no problem approaching.
It just feels as though Vivi has not been able to land the killing blow because Ling is just positioning himself so well. Look at that, just go back across the stage. If you want to waste MP and toss out projectiles, I can react to this. I do not feel any desire to rush you down.
Yeah, there's passive pressure and there's active pressure. And Ling, when he's hitting your shield, that is incredibly active pressure. The number of hitboxes per second that are going to be slapping you on that thing can create some scary situations. But Vivi answering back with 1.
I do love using that zoom right there to just get rid of the invuln. Like, okay, I'm out. I don't want to put up with this. Catch me in a minute. All right, so bounce on deck means that Ling cannot go ahead and get that easy turn up, downward toss to intercept the up B, so allows Vivi back up stage.
Low profiling the hero side B there with the sort of pancake from Peach's landing. Definitely got to be frustrating.
Forward air going to go ahead and connect for solid damage here. And again, how does Vivi actually get down? It just feels like there are no safe options on Ling's shield almost. Okay, now we're just going for it.
The Hachas are coming out.
This is one of those, I know you're going to want to jump at me, so I'm just going to do this just above your shield. And if you jump, I just get the stock free.
That's really such a confidence killer if you get hit by that. Thankfully, Vivi does avoid it.
Oh, zoom into the depths. Incredibly high damage right here, so just about anything strong will do it back here, certainly. Going to go ahead and get the forward throw to set up another edge trap opportunity. Accelerate, definitely going to bring this back, though.
Was that up tilt?
I've never seen Peach kill that.
That is wild. But it's pretty active, you know, so if you're at 190 and that move's going to kill, why not? Look at the movement.
Yeah.
Movement and patience, yeah.
It's like, do not hit any buttons that you do not need to. Just allow your opponent to land aggressively. If you've got Peach, you know you get the frame data advantage. Mario Cass remains undefeated in buttons per second.
Absolutely. And that float cancel just allowing you to push it even further.
All right, so what do you think we saw in that matchup? What does Vivi need to do to go ahead and just change the way that that match ended up?
And Vivi needs to find a way to stuff out the approaches from Ling. Ling was just sort of running the game here, and Vivi did not have enough time to create space for himself. You know, and if you don't have space, you're not going to get buffs. So there we go. The side B, that was probably the first one he's hit this set, and that is going to be a huge deal if he can start to connect some of those, and there they come.
super underrated, to be honest. Like, in addition to having ridiculous range, it is really good because you can just like B-reverse it to change up your momentum ever so slightly and outspace your opponent. The problem with it is that, oh my god, the MP drain.
Yeah, that's true. It does so much damage though, and it can start to kill at those later percents. It is one of the best disjointed like burst options in that range.
Great air dodge right there, so you only get the reverse hitbox of that Nair, and look like sending Vivi back to stage.
Okay, Accelerado's kind of where it's at. You know, this is your way to create space for yourself. But wow, Ling finding a read even when Vivi is zooming around at the speed of sound and finding that forward air.
Oh, missing the tech on the platform. Tried to do the get-up attack, but not quite going to let you back. Accelerate does let you
There's a
get
chance.
something going. Oh, great air dodge right there. Not going to get caught in that frame trap with the double fair.
I actually really love the up B there to sort of continue the hitboxes and just make sure that Ling is not going to reversal you. That was really, really smart.
Again, the side B, definitely a solid tool here. And then
There we
that
go.
gives you the space to pull that buff, get the psych up, and get the stock.
Yeah, I think side B definitely the best answer Hero has for creating space in a situation where you're feeling overwhelmed. And already we've seen so many more Accelerados, so many more Oomps and Psych Ups this game, and they are paying off with a much more even game 2.
Trying to get the Nair, but not going to work. And the up tilt again, or down tilt rather again.
Okay. Big damage coming out, but it's hard to look at the percent and say they mean anything when Hero's on the screen.
Yeah,
it's really all about the stock count because Hero has crazy ways to take these stocks at any moment. When I was playing Vivi yesterday, he killed me with snooze into F smash at 30 twice, and looking for it right there on cue.
All I want to see is that man get that. Either to get that or get a crit.
Oh yeah.
They need to go ahead and land one of those kills super early purely for the clips. If you're making this big of a run into winners, what is it really a run if you don't get the clip?
This is so different from game 1 already. Vivi finding their feet, you know, doing the best they can to deal with this pressure, and it's going to lead to a game where you at least get a buff on this last stock, right? Choosing, instead of trying to use the invulnerability to find some extra damage, choosing it to get a buff instead. What will the payoff be?
Side B so far, and then dragging Peach in with that projectile as well. So a lot of damage from those two interactions, but also a lot of MP expended. Need to go ahead and play a little bit more neutral and at least get a couple hits on that shield. So far, though, Ling making that incredibly difficult, using that phenomenal positioning again.
A lot of heals coming out here. I think a total of like 20% has been healed this game. Might end up making a big difference, actually. You don't really see that move making or breaking a game for Hero very often.
Just feels like it's one of those where if it's at the top of your to-do list on the menu,
well.
might as well. Yeah, exactly. It's such a low expenditure.
Oh, that air dodge. He air dodged at the last possible moment to not get floated off stage or to not get slept.
And this feels like this is where Hero's the best. When you
There
can
it
fade
is.
back and toss out those disjoints. Great DI from Ling. Not quite going to claim the stock yet. Psych up on deck, so certainly the next hit should do it. And tries to roll through, but the back air is ready. The ledge pressure from Vivi, absolutely exemplary.
Wow, that is such a huge switch up, games 1 to 2. That's how you know you're dealing with a player who is playing the adaptation game. When you get absolutely blown out game 1 and you find what you need to do, you make the right adjustments. Now, the question is, can Ling make the counter adjustments?
Vivi, it just felt like in game 1, they never really got the chance to play the game. Like,
Yeah,
Ling
no, not
came
at all.
out swinging, and just after a couple body blows, Vivi just was immediately forced to the corner, time and time again, forced to recover low, mix up your recoveries or die. You just didn't really have a game 1. Game 2, though, time to react, time to respond, time to get a couple of these buffs going, and what a difference a couple seconds makes.
Moving on to Kalos here in this game 3, and that is going to be Ling's choice. I think the big flat stages just lend themselves really, really well to Peach combos and zoning with that turnip.
Though I will say Vivi will have the opportunity to pick up a couple more projectiles right here, and also, if you toss Ling away, you're going to have so much more time to get buffs.
That's true. And Accelerado going to be the first buff pulled of this game. What can Vivi do with it?
Yeah, they are struggling right now to land any kind of a big blow, as again, Ling has been in this back to dodge and weave play style. That might be a little bit of a technical immediately side beat off stage to corner yourself. Awkward.
Accelerado, you know, the Christmas buffs online. but Ling going to be the one to find the grab even out of that enhanced movement.
Just trying to use that sizzle. Just to lock in shield.
We are out of MP almost now, and Ling looking to exploit that. Try to keep the pressure on. Don't let Vivi find his way back into an advantage, but Vivi saying, I don't actually need the specials. I can actually just win neutral with my sword.
Also, Vivi don't need to throw dice because it seems as though every time they're off stage, Vivi gets that zoom.
Oh, yeah. You know, it actually is really, you know, I think this is mentioned in every single hero set, but you have an increased chance of getting zoom the closer to the blast zone you are. And Vivi, very knowledgeable of that, actually drifting out sometimes before pulling.
Certainly that is true, but I prefer to go ahead and toss out the propaganda that all hero mains are blessed. Like they all just came out of the womb shaking.
Wow!
Oh my god, getting clipped with that projectile to claim the stock. And again, using that large stage, you can toss out a couple more of those options, and Ling has to be aware of the power of Hero's kit.
That was crazy. The reflected turnip comboing into the kaboom. How often are you going to see that one?
Not too frequently, but I want to give props to Vivi. That was a decision made. That was one of those where like, we immediately understood exactly that you had that opportunity.
Uh-oh, this could be huge. Finding an excellent grab and a nice tech out of Ling going to keep him from a terribly scary situation.
Trying to use that last of the Nair to get something going, but instead, okay, I dig that so much. You get the one hit and then immediately reset into buffs instead of pressing your advantage, because we both know that Ling could choose whether or not to mash while frozen to choose if you're actually going to have to deal with that disadvantageous position.
Yeah, it really is like playing an RPG. You got to manage your resources, and Vivi managing them expertly.
Selling out on that up smash a little bit, going to put Vivi in an awkward spot. Again, just getting tossed around by these options here. These back airs from Ling have been on point so far.
And these zooms really have been clutch, because if you're in a situation where you have to recover low, Ling has been incredibly consistent at catching it, as he misses.
Yeah, and only 1 MP. Now 4, 5 building up. We are going to have a barely charged up B. So yeah, you just don't have any options. Vivi has to take that awkward option at edge. Okay, I love that. Just land and do it. It's like maybe they'll jump.
Oh wow, that back air just barely not connecting. It wouldn't have taken the stock, but Vivi definitely wanted that one to hit.
The damage is starting to rack up. This is where Peach is so devastating, when you can no longer zone the character out, when you can't just place safe aerials on her shield, and when she gets the opportunity to start being aggressive with her cross-ups.
I love Vivi's use of up E at his shield. You know, it may not really lead into much, but it does bail you out of a bad situation when your shield's just getting hammered over and over again. You feel it getting low.
I'd like to see a couple tomahawks from Vivi too, because it just feels like Ling is super, super confident at sticking shield.
I think Vivi's use of jab has been really impressive. Just using that multi-hit to poke at shield, and you know, if you do it at range, it's not like you're going to get punished for it.
True, yeah. Psych up on deck here, so Ling on notice, but the great use of down smash. It's one of those spot dodge opportunities where you know they're going to toss out something. Psych up on deck again. These buffs are flowing faster than free.
That shield is really small. This is going to be a good opportunity for Vivi, but Ling saying, no, this opportunity is mine. Excellent float landing mix-up, and wow, what a grab.
I love these grabs from Ling. It just feels as though just when you think that Vivi's going to read on his options for those aerials, the next level mix-up comes.
Yeah, you usually think of fast fallers as having a bit of an advantage in Smash Bros, right? Because they just get more buttons out. But Peach being a floaty, who has the option to float and to float cancel, sort of gets the best of both worlds, right? You get to do those slow drifts back to stage to mix up your recoveries and find reversals, and that time the Nair is actually going to seal it out at around 160, while also getting out 1,000,000 hitboxes a second.
Yeah, 1,000,001 at this point. It seems like you just never know when Peach is going to stop hitting the A button. And usually the answer is they won't, because it's all safe.
Yeah, when you're dead, that's the answer.
True. In between matches, just got to go in and get your mash and ready. So now we're in a super awkward spot here where Game 5 counter pick advantage, if it does happen, is now going to be on Ling's side. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we do not have DSR right here.
Yeah, it's actually just 3 bans, no DSR. So
So that means that we may very well see another appearance of Kalos, and that looked really, really good for Ling.
It definitely did, but, you know, Vivi with a chance to switch up those bans if they do win this next game. It's going to be really interesting to see how that turns out, and Battlefield is going to be the selection.
I can kind of see this for Hero. We see a lot of times that Hero likes to use up B out of disadvantage. Landing on those platforms gives you the opportunity to make it safe. In addition, up air and back air can cover both platform and jump at edge, so it makes ledge trapping so much easier for Hero.
Yeah, platform's great for characters with really big hitboxes because you can set up into those tech chases, and Hero's down throw is excellent for that.
All right, Vivi, I really need you to toss out that whack at 0, please.
We have not seen any move from that set. We haven't seen whack or thwack, or really, honestly, not that much down B being used at all, except to pull those buffs.
Agreed, yeah. We've seen like every now and then a kaboom, but not so much when it comes to that wild option here. I just need you to roll the dice. I need you to spin the wheel. My gambling degeneracy must be sated here in this set.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what moves ended up being so instrumental for Hero. You know, the game first, when Hero first came out, everyone was like, oh, well, what's the big one? Where it's all around him, the big purple one.
Magic Burst. Yeah, we never see that anymore.
Yeah, everyone thought Magic Burst was like the new hotness, but then everyone realized, wait a second, Kaboom is actually what we thought Magic Burst was.
Yep.
And then the buffs are really where the power comes in.
It turns out being able to turn yourself into Shulk is a pretty good option as a character. All right, now no air dodge option right there, so Vivi in a checkmate situation. Great job by Ling covering that option right there with the easy back air.
Yeah, Hero gives and Hero takes when that zoom is not on the table. It's just a simple matter for Ling to seal out those stocks.
Try to get that fade back air right there was Vivi, but unable to connect. They are struggling here in this game. Ling seems to just be turning it up a little bit more. Now we've got the bounce, we've got the psych up. Double buffs are what we want to see. And now Ling, how are we going to approach the pressure?
Yeah, I'm not sure what percent that up though is going to start killing with psych up, but we're getting close. That being said, this stock could evaporate at any moment for Vivi because Ling is just winning interaction after interaction.
Accelerate does actually manage to make that recovery a trifle. Ling on the other side, though, sticking with that first stock means that it is so difficult to get this gone because look at this. The aerials will send him deep, but Ling's able to make that recovery unmolested even with Accelerado active.
Wow, that Kaboom going to just barely clip Ling as he's attempting to grab ledge. And Vivi's going to answer back a little bit, but you do not have a lot of mana left, and you do not have a lot of life left on this second stock.
Those slow standard get-ups are so easy to punish when you have Peach spewing the Z-drop aerials. You can just toss out like so many hitboxes in that spot. Usually at high percent, you got to pick another option.
Need to see something huge here from Vivi if he's going to make this a game 5. Ling very, very good at playing with a lead. He's kind of an aggressive Peach, and at that time he's going to actually pay for it, trying to swing and getting hit with a strong back air, and now it's anybody's game.
Yeah, you talked about aggressive. We saw it right there. Ling DI'd in, and then we saw exactly what Vivi's done so well. They just cock back, fade back air, and claim the space.
I think he used his jump there, so scary situation, but Ling not quite going to convert it. 100% on the board, and Accelerado coming in at the perfect moment.
And just using it to just get the heck out of dodge. Little Accelerado one side of the stage, Accelerado to the other. I'm going to go ahead and pull buffs.
Oh my god, look at the movement! Oh, I thought the second up air was going to connect, but instead, just starting to charge that up be a little too low is Vivi, and Ling going to say, you know what, we take those. Walk away with a set win.
It looked like something happened to them deep down. Like I want to see catches in the instant replay. Perhaps it was a neutral air dodge because there was a ton of time to get that charge going, but it just never seemed to start up. So perhaps just the tech flub in the worst possible situation. Also, that move was so good.
Yeah.
But this is twice in a row now. Ling has had that air dodge ready for the double forward air. The weight could have been clutch. Oh, it was an aerial.
Yeah. No, actually, I think it was a side B. I think he accidentally side B'd when he was trying to charge up B there. And it just cost him a little bit too much height and falling into the blast zone there. Not the way you want to see a set end. No matter who you're rooting for, it's always disappointing when it ends with a whimper and not a bang.
I mean, you still got to go ahead and give props to them.
Oh, yeah.
Vivi was just on point for the vast majority of that match. It does suck to see those games end